Hello, and welcome to the VR Untethered podcast, your weekly source of untethered VRness. I'm still not Brad, that's still not Josh, and together we are not sane. So, welcome to a week of VR news and blues. So,
And madness and our untetheredness to reality.
yeah.
Yes.
So, it's been an interesting week, as always.
Yeah. Every week here it seems to be a bit more interesting than the week before, but
It seems that way sometimes, yes. Well, I say with no further ado, let's jump into highlights. Brad, did you have any highlights other than not being able to do more than 3 minutes of VR again?
it's been one of those weeks, you know. I've had a lot of those weeks lately. I did purchase the new Star Wars game, which I'm very much looking forward to playing, regardless of what everybody is writing.
Yeah, I got a little bit to say about that. That disagrees with some of what other people are saying. So,
Okay, we'll talk about that because I haven't played it yet. So not many spoilers, please.
yeah, I'm
I'm
not
still
going to try to give any spoilers. No.
I'm still debating Saints and Sinners. It still seems like a lot of money for a game that's just zombies. I mean, I know it's supposed
Right.
to be pretty zombies and bloody
Well,
zombies.
I don't know about pretty zombies, but
Well, more detailed zombies
right.
than the previous generation of zombies. And you know, it looks like it could be okay. I just don't know that I really want to get involved in
Right.
14 hours worth of cracking skulls as opposed to 5 hours worth of doing something other than cracking skulls.
Right.
Um, and I'm just going over the list of games that they're coming out with and the games that they've upgraded. And it's like, I cannot, like I said, I played 3 minutes, so I haven't had time to really differentiate.
Right.
I also haven't had the same problem that I'm reading with some people with pass through having some sort of cap appear.
Well, the pass through before the most recent iteration had like a little triangular black area up at the top, right in your peripheral vision up there,
Right.
because it's only using the bottom two the cameras for the pass through. It's not using to the top. So those when they stitch together, because it's a round shape, there's an area like that's not that had no camera information, so they just left it black. Now it's filled in with kind of a distorted, just stretching, blurring combination of the image here and the image here, you know, so that in your peripheral vision it's not quite as distracting, in theory.
Okay. Hopefully, it would be nice for it to be. Am I bringing up this magical chair when I do this? Look
Yes.
at this. Oh, that's amazing. And kind of annoying, but okay. So that I wonder if they're ever going to be able to really fill that through then on the pass through. That's
I don't
surprising.
know. I think the only way they would be able to is if they were using all four cameras, or if they used a different stitching method to get them together. But I think because of the position of the cameras and how it overlaps, they may not be able to.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely think it seems like the Quest 2 was rushed a little bit. You know, there were a few things they should have ironed out, which hopefully they can do with software before they introduce the Quest 3 next
Right.
May. Um, I
I
know.
know. I hope you're joking, but you're probably not.
I know. That's the problem is I wish I was joking and I'm probably not. Um, so it's a little discouraging. But at the same token, I can up my game to 90 hertz and start playing some other games and convince myself that I haven't played VR in quite a while. And it's all brand new.
Well, you haven't played VR in quite a while.
I've had to do that in order to convince myself it's all brand new.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, really, the combination of things that have been going on has really, let's just say this, I'll be approaching the Quest 2 with a different perspective than just having taken off my Quest 1 and putting the Quest 2 on 5 minutes later. I have some span of time now between playing one and the other. It is strange, though, going into the store and having the option of loading to my Quest 1 or Quest 2,
Right? I can
which
understand
that definitely indicates that the Quest 1 is on the same path as the Go.
Well, no, that just indicates that you have two devices and it wants to know which one you want to load it onto.
Yeah, but is it loading
I
different
mean,
versions?
when I had the Go and the Gear VR, I didn't have an option of loading to the Go or the Gear VR when I bought something. If I bought something, you know, for the Go, it would install it on the Go. It didn't ask me if I wanted it on the Gear VR.
Right.
So,
Okay, that's true, but those were two completely different devices, whereas the
not
one,
really. The Go was basically a built-in Gear
right,
VR,
right,
where you didn't have to insert a phone, but it was basically a Gear VR. It was the same, technology basically.
right,
Um, and the Quest 2 and the Quest 1 are the same basic technology, newer chipset and all that, and but it's the same basic technology, but they are saying, which one do you want to install it on? Do you want to install it on your Quest 2 or your Quest 1? Which makes sense that you would have that choice. That in and of itself is, in my opinion, not necessarily a sign of the end. But I do agree that the Quest 1 is, if not officially now, then pretty soon officially it will be on the same path as the Go.
right.
But not because of this.
Well, this is just another indicator, and I also, because I'm thinking one of the other reasons is because they need to know which version to download to your headset.
Well, yeah, there's that as well.
Right. So now that'll allow developers to leave one game that was developed for the Quest alone and working while and then you have to wonder about, software updates for the operating system, things like
Well,
that.
I would imagine that if you have two Quest 2s linked to your account, that you would also be presented with an option of which Quest 2 do you want to install it to.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know
You
how
know,
that would go. Yeah,
because you may want it on the one that's yours, but not on the one that's
right,
for your family, because even
right,
though it's logged into the same Facebook account.
right. But then, of course, it could just go into, asking which headset just by the last four digits of the serial number you want to head onto.
Right.
That's not, but I'm just saying, I think that separating it into the Quest 1, Quest 2, for right now, it serves the purpose of just putting it onto which headset you want, but in the future,
Right, and it makes sense.
right, it'll
No.
deliver the version that you want, though, as well, if they start doing this. Like
Well,
when the
yeah.
Quest 3 comes out and you
Well,
want to
they'd
look,
be able to do that even if they didn't ask you, because if it were being installed on the Quest 1, it just automatically install the Quest 1 version, you know. So,
well,
I mean,
yeah.
they can detect which headset the operating system is running on. I'm pretty sure.
That's true. Oh, just a quick aside, by the way. I think Carmack has way too much time on his hands at this point. I don't know if you read his tweet this morning, but yeah, he has way too much time on his
I'm
hands.
not sure.
Uh, he tweeted that the amount of nerves in the
Oh,
spinal cord is equivalent
right,
to
right,
the
right, right,
amount of
right. Yeah, I
nerve.
saw that.
So your entire body from the neck down is worth to your brain what one eye
One
is.
eye, yes.
Yeah, okay. Now he has too much time, officially.
Well, that probably only took him about 5 seconds to think of. So
Right, I know, but still, it was just like, whoa. Okay. Uh, I'm just trying to figure the
maybe
algorithm.
it has something to do with the AI work that he is working on. I don't know.
Right, exactly. That's what I was trying to figure out is what's the algorithm between nerves down your spinal cord and nerves going to your eye. And then it's like, okay, it's got to be something with tracking and motion,
Maybe.
or it was just a brain fart. I mean, I don't know. With this guy, it could be either one.
I don't know if it would be a brain fart. It'd be more of a brain vomit. Information vomiting.
Yes, well, that he does, but you get it whether you want it or not. It's like going to a Gallagher performance. You're going to get watermelon on you whether you want it or not.
I wouldn't know. I've never been to one of those, and I do not plan.
No, me neither. After I saw the first performance and realized you're going to get watermelon on you whether you want it or not, I realized I don't. I really don't. I can live without that experience forever.
Yes, I'm like, that's one thing I've never really understood. Why?
Yeah, I
Smashing
know.
watermelon. Why?
Well, no, what the popularity of, it's like, what a country.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Is like, why is that so popular?
I couldn't tell you. I guess for the same reason that watching cars going around in a circle for hours is fascinating. I understand you want to see somebody win, but you can sure cut down the time. It's like,
Right. Well, I can understand that. So, moving on to my highlights of the week.
please.
Okay, moving on to new releases. No, I had two highlights of the week, really, that both tie in with some of the new releases. So I'm not going to talk too much about them until we get officially into the new releases, which we can do as soon as I say it's new release time.
We removed those police from the studio, and you don't have to.
I watched a Wolf in VR play the Tarzan VR on Steam. He got that as soon as it was released. He said it was a surprise release out of the blue. I'm like, it had a release date.
Right. What do you mean? Release date?
Okay.
Okay. I guess for him.
Yeah. And of course, Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. So those are my two highlights of the week. I had a highlight last week of winning our Onward match. So
Congratulations. That's right.
yeah.
Oh, wait, but that was an unofficial win.
I know that was the
3 out of
it
4.
wasn't an official win in that last map, but it was a forfeit from the other team. But all we needed was one more point, and it would have been an official win. So
I know. We all need to relive our glory days. I understand.
Yeah, that's okay. So moving on to the new releases, we have Tarzan VR on PC VR.
Whoa, that came out of the blue.
I know. And as I mentioned, I watched a Wolf in VR, who is a YouTuber who goes through games in kind of an episodic role-playing style. He, for the most part, pretends that he is the character in the game and all that, and to talks and reacts like it would be and whatnot. So it can make even a crappy game a little bit more entertaining to watch.
Okay, but he's not snarky. He's
No, he can be a little bit.
Okay. And how did you like a Wolf in VR?
Like, he likes to go, that's not how hands work. That's true of almost every VR game out there.
Right, I was going to say, yeah. Tell me something new.
Yeah, but watching his playthrough of this, I am no longer terribly interested in purchasing it and trying it out for myself.
When I realized what it was and the price, I was not very interested in it either.
Yeah, well, I mean, the trailer and the information, or the latest trailer and the latest information on it, kind of made me me interested in it because you can collect records as you go through the game that unlock radio drama episodes from the 1950s, and that'd be kind of cool, especially when you consider that if you buy a I don't think they do it on the cassette tape anymore, but they used to have the little jukebox shaped containers of the cassette tape that held entire radio dramas from yesteryear, and they would run roughly the same price as this game. So I was like, well, that adds a little value to it. But looking at the game, especially the gorillas in the game, I don't know if you watched any of it or not, but because I shared the link with you guys. But the dialogue in the game, and especially the animation on the gorillas, it's hilarious.
Hilarious was the word you used.
Tarzan, come! Jane and Quibble, come! Use fist, punch men! Hold with one hand, punch with other hand! Ooh, hurry, go! Scream comes from that way, go! And then when they're not talking, they're still just...
So you're returning this, or is this now?
I didn't buy it. I said I'm no longer interested in buying it after watching.
I can't. I bought Tarzan when I think that Tarzan was the last game they released on the Atari 2600 before the Intellivision Atari wars were over and we went into the next generation. And that was the first time you saw something that looked remotely human, that could move.
Right.
And went, gave his Tarzan yell.
Right.
That combined with Pitfall, where you could swing on the vines and you were in a whole new world. It's like, oh my God, this guy looks almost human. They'll never be better than this, the graphics. Yes. Heavy squint. So yeah, I really had no interest in this game because Tarzan is like Superman. Nobody can seem to make the game good. I don't know why. You're working with like amazing things and you can't make this game good. What?
Yeah. I mean, there is one kind of cool thing, but also kind of a little bit annoying. It has little dialogue snippets from the radio dramas in the game. So periodically, as you're walking along and you run across something, you'll hear the radio drama voice go, "I got here as quick as I could," or something, and it's like, it seems random.
Right.
And you're running along trying to rescue Jane, and you find Jane's diary on the jungle floor, and you to pick it up, and you hear Jane say a sentence or two, and that's it. And it's like, "Tarzan, please hurry! They have me."
Jane's not much of a writer.
I knew that.
Right. I know. Jane's not much for
No. And it got so bad that even in his role playing of it, Wolfen VR goes, "Jane, you've got to learn how to write more sentences than these diaries. Why are you using so many books just to say one sentence? How many diaries did you take with you when you got kidnapped?"
Right, just hit him over the head with the books, you win. Where's that sack of books?
Yeah, and then he's up against a grenade throwing guy at one point, and the guy's like, "Who with the grenades?" But the grenades are like going not towards you, but bouncing off the wall and then going that way, or going spiraling and missing you and going this way and bouncing back towards him, and he ended up killing himself with his phone grenades.
I need this game. I need a good laugh. You know. Oh my God.
And it looks like both of the episodes that are out currently, because it has got episode 1, episode 2, or issue 1, issue 2, and they're both pretty short. It looks like he keeps his videos about half an hour in length, roughly, and he was able to do both issues in just 2 videos.
Ooh, that's not good.
And the story is not complete because it's continued in issue 3, which isn't released until next year.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. Yeah. Well, it wasn't really on my list, so it's now definitely off.
I was kind of given the early trailers and whatnot. I was like, "Nah, this looks like kind of a train wreck, probably." But then with the most recent one, with the announcement of the radio drama audio collectible stuff, I was like, oh, maybe it might be good enough. But watching the gameplay, I'm like, nah, it's not worth it. If I want the radio drama stuff, I can just find a place to buy the radio drama stuff.
Right, I'm sure, or on YouTube, or somewhere it's going to be something. No, I can't subject my. At this point, I've spent the money on the Quest 2. I've spent the money upgrading it. I want good games. I'm not invested.
It's a Steam game, but yeah, it's the same idea applies. It's time for good quality games, and the ironic thing is they worked a long time on this, and they worked hard on it, and in my opinion, it's laughable.
Well, just what you explained. I mean, just that scene of the gorillas telling them, punch and go. It's like, why do they have to be gorillas? Why can't there be a native that comes in and tells him what to do?
Well, because that's what Tarzan was traditionally just friends with and working with.
Well, true, but never talked to. I don't remember my conversations with Tarzan written by A.G. Gorilla. I mean, it's like they were still gorillas. They didn't speak. They still like.
I know. I know. But yeah, and.
So what? Tarzan has a babblefish in his ear. Is that it? You're a Tarzan with a babblefish. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just hilarious watching. On the other hand, had I bought it and then been playing it and run into that, I think I'd be looking for a refund.
Right. I was going to say you would be laughing.
Not hilarious enough to warrant to that price.
Right. Exactly. It's very funny, but give me back my money. That's not funny.
Yeah. It's funny when you watch someone else do it.
Ridiculous. Okay, what other highlights or new games you have for us?
We have Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars.
Don't give me too many spoilers, but just tell me, is it good?
It involves Star Wars.
That's why I bought
it. It is good. The people that are panning it, some are panning it mostly because it's not groundbreaking and new in interactions and whatnot. And well, I think for that in a big way, VR interactions are stabilizing and they are standardizing. And it's going to be less and less common to see innovative VR interactions.
You mean like video games?
Right.
The graphics get better, but it's not like...
They're standardized now a little bit, and no, we're not going to see quite as many. Ooh, that's cool. That's never been done before. We're not going to see as much of that. So holding that against the game is having too high a standard, in my opinion.
All right, I'm not buying the game to have to reinvent the wheel. I'm buying the game to have the experience.
Right. Yeah. And the other complaint that some people have about it is that it doesn't have as strong a Star Wars feel as Vader Immortal did. but it's a different story. You're still in the Star Wars universe. It still feels like you are in the Star Wars universe. Just you're not part of the main storyline. You know?
Right. You're in your own. They couldn't
Right.
put you in the main storyline without screwing up the main story.
Right. Exactly.
So you have to be
So again, that's not
tangential.
quite a completely valid complaint. You know, basically, you know, and this is, you know, in the description of it, I believe you are a droid repair guy and smuggling stuff as droid repair guys do.
Obviously.
Yeah, and then you get hijacked by the Guavian Death Gang, and you escape to the planet below, and then you meet up with Caesar Slack at his cantina, and you go on the adventures.
Right.
No, and there is an actual storyline. You do meet some iconic the characters along the way, and it's so far I haven't encountered any use of the Force or whatever yet. It's all blasters and whatnot, but we knew that going in.
Mm-hmm.
No, there were strong hints at least that it was not going to be involving the Force. Yeah. So.
Right. They tell you you're not a Force user, but that doesn't mean by the end you can't have gained some knowledge. You don't know. You know, they can do whatever they want.
Right. But and if you do certain tasks for Caesar Slack, he then tells you his story, and there's another little side adventure you can go on.
Right.
You know, so I'm about an hour in, and it's a fun game. I mean, there are some elements of it that you can go, oh, I know where they got that from. I know where they got that from, but that's not a bad thing necessarily. That just means that they're copying what works.
Right. Exactly. You know. That's crazy. You know, think about video games just in general and how many of them have anything different than another video game other than the graphics or the storyline. You know, it's not like
like most of the hero MOBAs out there are the same. The different on-screen powers of them, but it's all the same gameplay. You know, just which skin on the basic game do you want? You know, do you want Paladins? Do you want, one of the other ones? You know,
exactly.
which one do you want? You know,
exactly. You know, yes, if they can introduce something new to the gameplay, that's cool. But if not, as long as the game is good, they don't have to introduce something new.
Right.
They just have to make it good.
Right.
So, and that's what I meant before. We're at the point now where I'm looking for good. I'm not looking for something that's a demo or innovative. I'm looking for something that I want to do. Star Wars, I've been doing it for the majority of my life at this point. So yeah, it's always going to draw me back.
Yeah. And you know that I think long and hard if it's 25 and above, and I got it, and I'm not regretting it so far. It's going to be at least a 3-hour game, depending on how quickly I rush through or whatever. That's a reasonable length. I would prefer it a little bit longer. I would love it if it were the Phantom Covert Ops length. So that would be a perfect length for it. But 3 hours is long enough to have the very least minimally justify the price.
Well, it puts you into a movie, and that's the whole point. So you have a little more open world than you had with Vader, just a little more, but you have more. And the one thing that the people that did like it did agree on is you feel like you're in the movie or in Star Wars world, their world. And I know it's like, I enjoy The Mandalorian, which is not Star Wars, but it's certainly in the Star Wars universe.
Right, well,
and, but you couldn't introduce that back into the main storyline without really having to give some explanations, and change everything. So I can understand if they want to keep you in your own Star Wars world where you don't know everything that's going to happen, they have to give you the ability to be somebody other than Luke Skywalker or Han Solo.
Right. Right. And this does take place between
Trilogies, I know.
Between episodes and whatnot. It's after Empire Strikes Back, and I think is after the first of the newer movies, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's before the first one of the New Order one. You know, I don't know if it's before that one or if it's after. You know, but it's in that trilogy area. So, which explains why you were being confronted by the Guavian Death Gang, because that was yeah.
Right, exactly. So no, it's fine, and it looks good. I like the graphics on it. It looks like it should be a lot of fun. Once again, my main complaint is Oculus should stop showing commercials that make it look like you're actually going to see this thing in the movie. You know, the graphics aren't that good, and it's going to be disappointing to some people. They're going to expect to be in the movie, you know, newbies, and they're going to go, whoa, what? This doesn't look like the image on my TV, you know.
Right.
So,
and my complaint with the people that are complaining about it is, number one, they are entitled to complain about it and to have their own opinion on it, but they are the big time YouTube influencers, and there have been, I saw a comment on one of their Twitter posts about it saying, "Oh, I've got this remote installing right now. Is it too late to get a refund?" They haven't even played it yet. They're just going off of, it's not as great as I was hoping it would be.
And you don't know this guy from a hole in the wall, and it's not as great as I was hoping it would be. Doesn't mean it's not as great as you were hoping it would be.
Right. I'm like, look, all you guys out there that are looking at the YouTubers post about it and going, "Oh, I need to refund it before I even play it." No, play it. Give it a chance. You have 2 hours to play it and decide if you want a refund. 2 hours. You give it at least 1 hour and then decide.
Right. Give it at least as much time.
Don't just go off of someone else's report on it if you've already purchased it. You know?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I know. I've gotten to the point where reviews mean very little to me, honestly. It's just how many are 5-star, how many are 4-star, how many are 1-star. That's what I go by now, the percentage.
Well, I do like to look at the 5-star, and I like to look at the 1-star because, you know, that,
right.
You know, I can see if there's a major issue that the 5-star people are glossing over, or, you know, or if the 1-stars are things like, "My Wi-Fi died and I couldn't install it." Yeah.
I know. And it really is better if you know the people that are reviewing it, so you know whether or not, you know, so that's why I like our Discord. We know the people, we know what games they like, and they can love a game, but if you know you don't love that type of game, but if you do love that type of game, then you also know it's a good one or a bad one from their reviews. So.
Right. So anyways, enough of that. We have a date for Battle Sisters. Speaking of upcoming titles, I forget if we already knew a date for it or not, but December 8th is the date for Warhammer Battle Sisters to be coming out.
Okay.
So that's coming up pretty quickly.
It is. It is. I just don't know why it's Battle Sisters. I'm really not sure what they did.
Because they're all girls.
Okay.
Well, they're like Valkyries, I guess.
Okay. That's not too gender specific.
So, anyways, it is Warhammer game. It involves guns and shooting and going through obstacles of people where you have to mow them down with the guns and whatnot. And it's a shooting game.
Right, it's a shooter.
And
Hopefully,
I think a lot of what it's got going for it is the name. It's in the Warhammer universe, which is a hugely popular universe. I've never really been in that universe, so I don't. I'm not a fanboy or a fangirly about it or whatever, So
I played the original Warhammer on the PC, and it was great because it was one of the first games that could take you from God level down to first-person perspective. And that in and of itself was amazing.
Right.
The game was very much like Gears of War, basically. It was a battle game. I don't know what the new Warhammer game is going to be other than reskinned and the same type of game.
Right. So the Warhammer game that is more appealing to me is the one that's coming out next year, I believe. So Tempest Fall, I think it's called, which is the more magic-oriented one.
Right. That's one that interests me too. So
yeah.
Hopefully they'll have a Quest port for it.
Yep. Hopefully. It'd be nice.
Right.
And I am still looking forward to Hinge coming out on November 27th. It's a Steam game, but still.
Right.
It's a psychological horror, sort of Lovecraftian or whatever. So
yeah, we talked about
I'm looking
this.
forward to seeing how well they do on that.
I'm waiting for you to tell me just how Lovecraftian it actually is. Is it as Lovecraftian as Thumper, or did we go beyond that?
Hopefully it goes beyond that.
I mean, I didn't even buy Layers of Fear because nobody that played it really seemed to go crazy over it. They all seemed to think it was.
Speaking of Lovecraftian, and you didn't buy it because it didn't go crazy.
Exactly. Layers of Fear seemed to be, it's this heavy-duty psychological thriller, and nobody wrote about being terrified or, it was interesting. There you go.
I always prefer psychological horror. Movies like Jeepers Creepers and whatnot, they're disgusting and shocking and all that, but they're not scary. Movies like The Ring, that's scary.
Right.
Well,
they really creep me out and not let me turn my light off for a week while I go to sleep. But yeah, you're right. But Jeepers Creepers or, The Hills Have Eyes, the things that are, when they stick the milking machine in the guy's chest to, exsanguinate him. And you just, I think I left that theater after 20 minutes. It was like, this isn't horror. This is just gross.
Yeah, this is just blood and gore for the shock value.
Exactly.
And that's what I don't like. But a good horror, where it's mostly psychological, that I appreciate. That takes a lot better writing.
So that's why King's books win over the movies, because they can't translate that psychological terror into the movie as much as they can just take blood and throw it at the screen and make you go, ooh, terror.
Right. So, before we run out of time, let's move on to the news. Speaking of horror, Viveport Infinity has a deal right now where if you upgrade to their annual subscription, or if you are already upgraded to the annual subscription, you can get Phasmophobia to keep forever. So,
okay.
Now, if you're already on Viveport Infinity annual subscription, and you have not already purchased the Phasmophobia on regular Steam, now's a chance. Go ahead and get it. It's a good game.
Okay. I'll be back.
And VR Chat Plus is on its way. I don't know that we have a official release date for it, but there's going to be an open beta Steam users can opt into. It's only going to be on PC right now, not on the Oculus Quest and whatnot. But it's a way to purchase a subscription, either on a monthly basis or an annual basis, to VRChat that gives you access to 100 avatar slots as opposed to the soon-to-be standard 25 avatar slots and other things of that nature, and custom badges displayed over your head, and etc. So
You see my reaction. I'm just jumping for joy over here.
I know.
Whoa, I could have 4 times as many
One
avatars.
thing that's a little controversial about it is they also said it could include a trust boost if you are a paid subscriber. Now that sounds good, but some people are dubious about that because, so a person who gets banned for bad behavior could just create a new account, pay for it, and instantly be a trusted user again.
Correct. Which is,
So,
yeah, I don't like that idea.
yeah.
But it'll work itself out. If they're charging money and people don't want to pay it because it's not working right, they'll do something.
Right. I mean, I'm all for them so finding ways to monetize it. I mean, Rec Room has started having use real world money to get Rec Room tokens for the stores and whatnot, and Rec Room Plus and all that. So that's not a bad idea. I'm all for them finding ways to make money off of it. I have nothing against that. But I do kind of agree with the I don't know attitude about the trust boost aspect of it. That could prove troublesome for them.
Of course, you're just paid to beat the rules. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
If you pay me enough money, I'll let you beat the rules.
Yeah. So, also in VRChat, starting on December 11th and going through December 13th, there is VRCon. I don't have a whole lot of the details about what's going to take place in it, but it's a VR convention that is taking place over that weekend. So, and it's in VRChat. And I'm
once again
90% sure that it won't be on Quest. Probably only on the PC VRChat.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to pretty much find another way to, I don't know. This Asgard's Wrath thing has endured the wrath of Brad.
Yeah, well,
I think that that's
the next topic. Next bit
okay.
of news.
I'm now the great Karnak. Yeah, I mean, they're crazy. I honestly believe these guys have lost their freaking minds because there's plenty of Quest 2s on the shelf, obviously more than they wanted, and they're giving the early adopters the finger and the later adopters a free game. Tell me.
In my opinion, it should be tied in only to the using link if they want to tie it in to anything.
Exactly.
Starting on this date, if you use link, you get, but saying you have to activate your Quest 2 between these dates and use the link, I'm like, that's even more restrictive than what they did last year at this time.
I know, it's insane. First you have to sign up for Facebook, then you have to, and now I can't even, by being one of the first ones to give you money for something that wasn't even on the market, I don't get Asgard's Wrath. The guy that waited for tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people to review this thing gets it.
Right.
These people are stupid. I'm very honest with you, because at this point,
I mean, I get that it's their attempt at a holiday promotion, but given that the Quest 2 came out only a month earlier.
Right, exactly. There's been Black Friday promotion since before the Quest has been out.
Yeah,
that doesn't fly.
It's bad timing. They should backdate it to the beginning of the Quest 2 release.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's probably not going to. So
no, but at this point, with all of the screw ups, I guarantee you that there's a large percentage of people that will be looking for that maker of the next VR headset that releases you from this demon.
Well, that's why there are so many people interested in the Deca Gear, even though it's not a standalone.
And it's not a reality. The Deca Gear is a
Right. Well, not yet, and it remains to be seen how close to the dream the reality is when it, is finished. If it gets finished, because we don't know yet.
I'm still betting on LG or Sony to actually come out with the one that's going to be the winner.
Yeah. Speaking of Oculus Quest 2 and Black Friday, the Black Friday price for the Quest 2 is already in force. $299.
Isn't that the price of it beforehand? I know. I'm looking yesterday. It says this Black Friday price is $299, and I'm thinking, wow, that's the 260.
I was like, isn't that what it was before?
Right.
Or are we talking about the 256 is now $299?
Right. No, it's not still $299. So it's like, wait, that's not Black Friday.
I'm like, that's the same price it already was.
Which
so,
really
like always, they're not going to have a Black Friday pricing deal.
But that only goes once again against what we were just saying about the Asgard's Wrath, because now they're saying it is a Black Friday deal, but it's the same price as it was before Black Friday.
Right.
But Asgard's Wrath, no, that's free.
Yeah, I don't know.
And let's not give you a Quest game. Let's give you a PC game.
Well, they want to promote Link. I think they are feeling the hurt from Virtual Desktop.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I know. Why don't they just buy Godin?
But instead of taking the hint and working on their own version of Virtual Desktop, they want to incentivize people to use the cable.
Why don't they just give God?
Well, guess what? If I had waited until now to buy my Quest 2, I'd be hooking it up with Link, redeeming the offer, and then never using Link again. I'd be using Virtual Desktop to play
it. Right. Exactly. Once again, the decisions being made, I am really disagreeing with severely and hardly. So I think they did such a good job with the Go and with the Quest. And now they are just really, I don't know I know where their head is. I just can't say it on our broadcast. But it's not in a good place, and they need to wash their hair thoroughly when they remove it.
Is the head up a creek without a paddle? And without the body?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good thing, Josh. I just wish they were.
It's creek it's up, right?
That's true. When is Assassin's Creed coming out?
I don't think we have a date for it, but I believe it's next year sometime, or before the end of the year. I forget which.
And did you read about the new? There's also a new deal going on. It's not Oculus Quest. It's Stadia related.
Right.
If you purchase if you purchase Cyberpunk 2077, they will send you the free Stadia kit, which is $100 value. It's the controller and 1 month of the free Prime tier.
Right.
As long as you pre-buy this game for $60. And they'll give you another $100 worth of stuff for free if you do it. And it's 4K, and you're going, what's going on here? I mean, they just released their new Chromecast that doesn't even work with Stadia, but my Ultra, which I bought 2 years ago, does.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Google and Bonehead decisions, they have shut down Expeditions, which is a VR education app that allows a teacher to have an iPad in front of them and all of the kids to be on basically cardboard devices. And she can synchronize them with where she is in the lesson. And they can see 360-degree videos and photos, and it was a real nice app. It was a real nice educational solution. I have not heard if they are replacing it with anything, but it's Google being Google, making something good and then abandoning it.
Hey, look, they're the ones who came out with 3 phones in the last 12 months. So, yeah, and killed off Daydream,
Yep.
and not only was it bad enough they killed off Daydream, but the last phone that had it, the 3XL, they killed it off when they upgraded the operating system. It was like, nah, we're killing this sucker, man. We don't care what you have. So,
Yeah.
it's
Uh,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, I've used Expedition before. I used uh, my wife's iPad and had m- my son on a cardboard headset, and did a couple things testing it. So it works and it works well. It's a very solid product. And I mean, even now, phones that can do cardboard at least decently are pretty cheap, especially if you're buying them with an educator's bulk discount stuff. So,
It doesn't make any sense. Everything that they're
no,
doing now in VR and AR, they're jumping the gun, and they're just, we're in a dark stage here. I
yeah,
think we're in like a 6 month period of just news without actual releases of anything interesting.
yeah. Um, in other news, something that's interesting and is something a little bit new. V Notes, spatial notes, and videos app. I saw this on Twitter earlier today. Is an app that lets you attach a note or a video to a fixed object in the real world. So that presumably someone else coming by later with the same app can then be walking along and go, oh, hey, there's a note on there, and see the note left. The example use case that it was showing in the video was someone basically inspecting the piping and gauges and whatnot, and making a note that this needs to be tightened, this needs to be cleaned, etc., and just dropping it on the object so that the workers later on can come by and go, oh, here's where they wanted to repair. So
Right. Okay. It's a use.
yeah, it's a useful app. And it would be even more useful if it were tied in with smart glasses, which are not
Oh, right.
quite there
Exactly.
yet, but yeah,
Right. I know. Otherwise, it's basically just a post-it note, a
right,
digital post-it note.
right, exactly. But it would be really useful if it were tied in with augmented reality glasses that the workers wear, and they walk along and they go, "Oh, hey, there's a note." You know,
And then when they actually look at where they're supposed to do the repair, it gives you the steps of the repair. And
right, right, because it's got a video attached to it or whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
or it can walk you through real time. Yep, yeah, exactly. So, but either way, that's a cool little thing, and it could presumably even be used by an an individual in their house also. Um, have a designated room where they leave notes for themselves to remember things, or
The
know
refrigerator. Just point this thing at the refrigerator.
your own augmented reality version of a memory palace. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
so
You
yeah,
come in, you point it at the refrigerator, see if there's any notes, point it at the pillow. Did anybody leave
yeah,
me? Look.
yeah. Or you go, oh, okay, the phone number I needed to remember, where did I put it? Oh yeah, I put it on the aloe vera plant on the windowsill, right? Okay, that's the note. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It sort of seems a little you're taking multiple steps to accomplish something that
Well,
you
yeah.
could becomes a little more complicated than just writing the phone number down on that post-it note next to the phone.
Right. Well, what I do is I write the phone number down on a post-it note in my brain, and then I slide it into a slot in the wall that says "to be remembered at 5 o'clock," or "to be remembered when I get home."
Yeah, I do that too. Or if it's really, really important, just type the number into your phone, into your cell phone with a little reminder.
Well, you can't do that when you're driving, though.
If you have Google Assistant, you can.
Not legally, anyway.
Well, if you have a Bluetooth adapter and you're speaking
True,
through a
true,
hands-free adapter and leaving yourself a
true,
note on your Bluetooth,
true,
I've solved that. See, there
true.
you
You're
go.
right. You're right. That is a good point. But again, that would be another perfect use case for an augmented reality headset.
Oh yeah, there you go. Absolutely perfect. Only a
So
14-step maneuver.
record note.
Oh God.
So, in other news, Carmack, speaking of his information vomiting, teased possible 120 hertz coming for Quest 2 games. He said, I don't have it exactly memorized, but he said basically in reply to someone else saying, this is a good reason to not push the maximum frames because then you'll be suffering when we go to 120 hertz or something like that. So,
Well, his thing was, look, at 90, you're going to get some crap. You're not going to be able to feed it fast enough. But if we push it to 120, then at 90, you'll be fine.
right,
He wanted the overhead. He thinks
right,
90 is too close,
yeah,
which is fine. You know, he could have made it 100. He didn't have to make it anything except give you the overhead for the 90.
right.
Like I said, he has too much time on his hands. He needs a
So,
new hobby.
is making people go, does that mean that he is saying the Quest 2 will get official 120 hertz support?
No, it means Quest 3
I
is
kind
coming
of
out
doubt
soon.
that, given that the Quest 1 was capable of 90 hertz and it never got that.
Right,
So
right.
I
And
kind of doubt that. But it could be what you are saying is that they can build in that extra buffer so that 90 hertz is more achievable.
exactly.
Yeah,
That seems to be something that they could do pretty easily,
yeah,
honestly. I don't see that being a major issue at all. Just has to be divisible by 3.
yeah. And I forget the exact date on this. I will have to look it up. But Ready Player 2 is coming out soon, and it will. There is a launch Q&A for it that will be held in big screen.
Right. With the author discussing
Yeah.
the new book.
Yep. A Q&A with the author, yes. So I'm sure there will be next month, so in December. I want to see if there's an actual date given on this. I'm looking at a VR Focus article right now.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. It's coming up fairly soon. I know it's in December, so.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, on December 5th at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
So that is something that I would be motivated to attend in big screen. That'd be pretty cool.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he has to say. It'd be interesting to see if he can keep his edge because Player One was so
Yeah, I
interesting.
mean, Ready Player One was written before anything was really real. Ready Player Two was written after we have real things.
Exactly. So now it's going to be more difficult, I think, for him to.
Right. So, but it should be interesting. If you are interested in some of the Ready Player One things, like the omnidirectional treadmill stuff, Catwalk C is offering a chance to win the Catwalk C. If you like or if you follow them on Twitter and retweet a post of theirs, you are entered in a chance to win the Catwalk C. Or, as they say, to ensure that you don't miss out on it on November 27th, Black Friday, you can order it at the Black Friday price and save $489. And if you win, it'll be refunded to you. Or then there's another option. On the last day of the Black Friday sale, if you place an order, they're going to randomly pick one person to refund that order and give it to for free. So basically, they're giving away two. One from the Twitter entry, then one as a random to purchase on the last day of the Black Friday sale.
And what's the pricing on this?
It's over $489.
Yeah, usually when they give you a $489 discount, we're looking at somewhere around $5,000, I would imagine.
It's very expensive. I think is I forget, but I want to say is I think it's only 1,000 something, but I'm not sure.
Only?
Yes. Well, compared to other treadmill option, that's affordable.
I know. Put on your B-Haptic 16 with your, it's only going to cost you 10 grand.
$14.99.
How much?
$14.99.
Okay.
That's not $14.99. That's $1,499.
Yeah. Okay. $2,000. It's a bargain. Get me 3. I'll have one in every room.
But no, I did enter in the Twitter drawing thing. I figured, why not? Don't know that I have the room for it, but if I win it, I'm sure I can find a way to make the room for it.
I'm pretty sure you can.
And then I too will be able to have a YouTube channel that talks about it and shows it in action.
You mean we don't have enough subscribers to have them send it to us so we can?
No.
I don't know.
Nope. But you viewers can help us fix that issue. If you drag your friends over and have them subscribe so that we get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month.
Hurry. Place your order now.
Then maybe we can be gifted a catwalk. We have 3 more things of our news, and then that's it. So we're almost at the end of the show. We have Carly and the Reaper Man coming to the Quest in 2021. That was a big hit on the PSVR. It's a one of those kind of asymmetrical co-ops where one person is in VR and the other is on the PC. Mm-hmm. And they are playing together, and the VR person has to move things and assist so the PC player can to get to where they're going. Yeah, and whatnot. So it was a big hit, and it's coming to the Quest in 2021, which is another sign that the Quest 2 is gonna taking over the world. So
yeah, it has. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Have you sold your Quests yet, or no?
What?
Have you put your Quests up for sale? Your Quest 1s?
No, it's going to a family member. So.
Oh, okay.
So I think they're gonna try and reimburse me a little bit for it, but not the full price. So. We also have Elite Dangerous for free on the Epic Game Store. So if that's a game you are interested in, now's the chance to get it for free. I think I got it for like $7 recently.
Wow, what a ripoff!
Well, it was like 99% discounted or whatever at that point.
Right, I know. It's like, okay, that seems to be a decent price now. So maybe Tetris, maybe the Tetris effect will get the message, and
maybe, but Elite Dangerous is kind of like Squadrons, but without being in the Star Wars universe. So, basically.
Oh, what was the thing that I was going to bring up? Never mind. It'll come back.
I'm not you, so I can't tell you.
I know, and I didn't tell you beforehand.
Brad.
That was a mistake on my part. Okay. But it did have something to do with what we were talking about. That much I can tell you.
Did it have something to do with Carly and the Reaper Man, or with Elite Dangerous?
Elite. It had more to do with Elite Dangerous. I saw, contractors. I had bought for on the Rift because it's cross-buy, and I'm getting the option of downloading it on my Quest 2, which is
I forgot to add that, but a few people have commented on that, even though it's not officially out yet. I remember seeing that a few people were saying, "Hey, I have the option of installing it on my Quest, and it's not out yet." But I have the option.
I know. So that's what I'm wondering. It's like, well, what's it going to download to my Quest? Why is it?
I don't know.
You know, but it says install on Quest 2, and I'm looking at it going, well, wait, you're not out yet. How can I install you? And what's going on here? Where am I? It's very Lovecraftian. I have to say.
I don't know if this is going to show up, but I have that option also.
Well,
it's all on Quest 2.
I'm just seeing straight through the phone, through your head,
I know.
Background. Right. Exactly.
It's all on Quest 2 right there.
So. Right. So I don't know whether to press that button or if that's going to explode. You know, like.
I don't know.
How could that even happen?
I don't know. Someone pressed the wrong button at Oculus, or someone pressed the wrong button at the contractor's headquarters. I'm not sure.
I'm really confused. Really confused for that one.
I might push the button and find out. I don't know. I mean, because it's not going to do anything that's going to break it. I'm sure. If anything, it'll go, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't do that because it's not available," or it'll install a playable demo or something, you know. So, you know.
I have no idea what'll happen, right?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to do anything bad, though. Yeah.
And they're also, it's crazy. I mean, now that Pop 1 is out, they're really going to fight uphill between Pop 1 and onward.
Yeah. I mean, Population 1 is having a new event now already.
What is it, a harvest event or something?
Yeah, it's a harvest event, and you are harvesting points in kills and wins and whatnot to earn different tiers. And at the end of the event, whatever tier you are in, you get the reward for that tier and all the tiers below. So most of the tiers are a weapon skin. The highest tier is a character skin. So.
Well, that's kind of cool. It's been a while since I played Pop 1. I've been afraid I've lost my edge there for the last few weeks, so I have to jump back in. You know?
Yeah. Well, you missed out on the Energy Cores event. But
I know.
This event is still going on. You still have time for this one.
Did they do anything to the... did they make it look like a fall foliage thing, or did they change the graphics?
Well, in Farmland, it already was kind of fall colored. In the Farmland area of the
map,
it was already kind of fall colored. I only got to play for like 6 minutes yesterday, so I didn't really do a lot of looking around. But I can do more today, maybe. So.
I see people complaining about how long it's taking to get into games now, that the lobby became a longer hangout than it used to be.
Yeah. Well, I was playing and got kicked when I was returning to the main menu because the update got pushed. And it said an update is needed. So I go, okay, quit. There's no update. Okay, maybe if I try to open it, it'll trigger the update. Load, goes to main menu. An update required. Okay, quit. Still no update. Okay. Guess I'm not playing it anymore today.
Crazy. It really is.
But I did get the update eventually, and then I played it for a few minutes yesterday, but I didn't have a lot of time. So. And the last bit of news. Oppo smartphone AR glasses have a little bit more news. They are coming. it's another contender in the AR glasses arena, and it's kind of going to be kind of like the Nreal Lite. It uses a smartphone or a compute unit to power it, and they are, I think, currently looking for developers to build stuff for it. So,
Right.
yeah, an Oppo developer program will be launched next year, which includes recruiting AR content partner, developer support program, and developer competition in China. And then a client-side SDK will be released next year at some point also. So.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Like I said, I think this upcoming year is going to be interesting to see what actually materializes before the next idea comes into, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just a little disappointed that so far the most promising AR glasses all coming from the East.
I know.
I mean, Nreal is Korea, which is an ally, and not terribly prone to putting spyware stuff. But I forget where Oppo is. Yeah, it's a China-based one.
Mhm.
So I'd be leery about that one because it's China-based.
Right, but I know. The whole situation with this has got to be calmed down, right now.
And I would much rather that a company like Tilt 5, which is Western, do smart glasses of that nature, but they're doing their stuff that involves the special surface needed. Which limits where you can use it, because you're not always going to be able to take a special surface with you wherever you
exactly. It goes against everything we're learning, as opposed to being able to create that surface where you are. You need to bring that surface with you, which is ridiculous.
Right. Actually. I mean, I like what they've got going there. It looks cool. It sounds cool. But it's reliant on that retroreflective surface.
Exactly. Which would have been cool 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Now, not
or
so
even
much.
5 years ago.
Maybe, but still not so much. Now, no, we can still say
now people want the Nreal Lite technology. That's more of the vision people have. Actually, the vision people have is no compute unit needed at all on the body. It just connects via Wi-Fi to the cloud and gets everything off of the cloud. So that's what people ultimately want. But they don't want the privacy issue that would come with that.
Well, look, they're having the whole point with the glasses of not being able to put a camera on the glasses without people wondering whether you're recording them. And
yeah, I know. I remember all that who with the Google Glass, and I'm like, okay, number one, don't have it light up when the camera is on. Yes, I know that sounds like a good thing to do because it lets people know, hey, there's a camera on, but it backfire.
Exactly. So
I mean, I remember hearing a story about a guy that had a device that was a vision assisting device that someone at a McDonald's thought looked like a Google Glass, and it's something that's actually attached to him, and he was trying to rip it off of his head, and he broke it and whatnot, and he hurt the guy.
Ridiculous, just ridiculous. But yeah, look, it's going to be Apple that's going to introduce the sophisticated AR glass.
Yeah, most likely, unfortunately.
Well, then
I say unfortunately because I don't necessarily like the Apple ecosystem.
Oh, I hate the Apple ecosystem. The Apple, they don't even know. It's the Cook ecosystem. It's not even the Apple ecosystem at this point. Everything is Tim Cook.
Yeah.
and he's no Steve Jobs.
No,
So,
well, even when it was Steve Jobs, I didn't know like the Apple ecosystem. I don't like the hand holding that that Apple does. I much prefer Android, where I have control over everything, and I can do pretty much what I want. And I'm savvy enough that I either know how to do it or I can figure out how to do it. I don't need hand holding.
right.
Yeah.
Well, the problem for me and Apple is to me, the thing is, Apple, you need hand holding because there's only one way to accomplish anything, and it's their way. So
Right.
you need the hand holding because it's not intuitive at all.
Right.
Whereas at one point in time, when they originally came out with it, it was the most intuitive computer on the market.
Right.
So now it's just an operating system which nobody will develop anything for because it's, I don't know what it is anymore, to be honest with you. I really
I
don't.
don't know. My my son periodically said that he prefers Android to Apple because one of the apps that he has on Android is free, but the same app on Apple is paid.
Okay, I mean, that's it.
And I'm like, that's not Apple. That was the developer.
Right, exactly. But Apple is screwing with their people on their store, and I mean, let's face it, they've all become too big. All of these
Yeah.
tech companies have just become too big,
Well, yeah.
and they were never supposed to be allowed to get to this size
Right.
and to control
Well,
as much as they do.
yeah.
So that sort of has to be tamped down.
Well, yeah. It'd be nice to see more healthy competition. Yes.
Healthy competition, a little more regulation in the sense that, when you're a news organization, you have to let people know that you're a news organization. You can't hide behind Facebook and Amazon and say you're not news
Right.
anymore. You
Yeah.
really can't. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have to just, and break down into your individual parts, which is exactly what happened with Ma Bell, and
I knew you were going to say that.
she came back bigger and better than ever. But the whole point is still, no one person should have the wealth of several countries at their disposal and can control the information flow in an entire country or planet, through
Right.
through a system of a couple of people saying, "Yep, this should go, this shouldn't."
Right. So, anyways, that brings us to the end of our episode, complete with a minor bordering on political diatribe.
Very minor, very, very minor. Yeah, well, look, no, we'll see. But we agree. We want more competition, healthy
Yeah.
competition, and we want better products, and we want what we want, and
Right.
that's only
No,
going to
I
happen.
want what I don't want.
You've always been unusual that way, Josh.
No, I'm remembering a few years ago, my wife and I were in line at Kohl's at Christmas time or Black Friday time, around then, and there was a kid in line behind us, maybe a couple people back, that was trying to convince his mom to get something for him. I want it. I don't want it. I need it. I don't want it. I want it. I don't want it. Just continually, I want it. I don't want it. I want it. I don't want it. I want it. I don't want it.
Oh God, no, that would drive me crazy. That would really drive me nuts. Yeah, it's funny because this year, PS5 and Xbox X are really losing out to the Quest. The Quest is more available than those.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's good for VR, but it's kind of like, what the heck is going on with the other ones?
I don't know. I really, really don't.
Or maybe those ones have already sold capacity and the Quest has not. I don't know.
Well, I think that, it's funny, as many Quests as they sold, that they said that they sold so many more than they expected. Why are there still so many to be sold? It's like,
because they were trying to be prepared for more than they expected. Because that time they weren't prepared.
Okay, so then my last question is, what happened to VR cover? Why do they want to send me a silicone skin to put over the already existing piece as opposed to my VR cover? You know,
I don't know. Maybe they're in a agreement where they can't sell it on their own for a little while, and they have to go through Oculus right now. I don't know.
I don't know, because all the other VR covers I see are made by like Sing Tao and Hung Chung, and they get 2 stars, and I'm thinking, I don't know.
Yeah, well, Black Friday is coming up. I think Kiwi and AMVR might have something. I think I saw something saying Quest 2 VR covers from them, but I'm not sure. It'd be worth looking into, you know.
I've been looking every day.
At Black Friday prices, it would be the best time. So.
Right. The only thing I see are these silicone covers that they keep coming out with, which don't really thrill me. You know, I want to cover.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I got the silicone cover from Supernatural. I wasn't really able to get it on so that it stayed on, and then it's so cold when it goes on, like ice. Yeah.
Right, and then it's
slippery
sticky.
and yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the feeling of the silicone at all. The polyurethane is really much better.
Yeah. So, anyways, we should end our show here before we start rambling too much.
Okay.
Remember, like and subscribe. Drag your friends to like and subscribe. Drag their friends to like and subscribe.
And
spread it like it's the coronavirus.
Okay, on that note.
Bye. Have fun. Have a great rest of your week.